Do you use a smartphone? What about a laptop? What about any other form of social media whatsoever? Well, according to the USA Network's award-winning drama Mr. Robot, you and everyone around you is about to get straight up hacked. That's right, we live in the future, and not the fun one with the flying cars. No, we live in the super scary future, where anybody can have access to your information. Mr. Robot centers around Elliot Alderson, an engineer at a cybersecurity firm, Allsafe. He's an introverted, squirrely, and slightly off-putting young man who also happens to be extremely well-gifted at hacking. As we follow his journey, we're left sitting here in horror, witnessing the innermost workings of the hacking world. So get those zeros and ones in order, because Cinematica is about to count down the top 10 most terrifying hacks from Mr. Robot. Let's get started. Number 10, when Elliot generates passwords from Season 1, Episode 1. To work out all of the dark and twisty parts of himself, Elliot sees a therapist named Krista, a woman Elliot describes as kind but naive. It turns out that Krista is seeing a man that Elliot deems unworthy, but how does he know this? Through hacking, of course. Elliot is very weirded out by his therapist's boyfriend because he can't find a single thing about him online. So he does what any normal person would do. He calls the boyfriend and pretends to be his bank and asks him some security questions to get his personal details, and then puts those details into a fancy smancy password generator to uncover his secret. Excuse me while I change all of my passwords immediately to nachos for life, and don't hack me, bro. Number 9, when Tyrell bugs his bang buddy's phone from Season 1, Episode 3. Every show needs a villain, and every villain needs to get laid, including Mr. Robot's Tyrell. The tall, creepy man bangs an assistant at his company, which is pretty shady since Tyrell is married with a kid on the way. Tyrell's true intentions are revealed when he puts a bug on his bang buddy's phone to get juicy company details. So what Mr. Robot is trying to tell me is that any dude who I brought back to my place who wants to get up on this could be hacking me? That means that the guy from the bar, or the guy from the arcade, or the guy that I met on Tinder, that I took home to my place to Netflix and chill, can now see every single picture of loaded nachos that I have on my Pinterest board? Number 8, when Elliot hacks into a police car from Season 1, Episode 6. Elliot finds himself in a bit of a predicament when he's being coerced and manipulated by a drug dealer slash murderer slash rapist from prison whose imprisonment is due to Elliot's anonymous tip. The criminal in question requests that Elliot break him out, or it's sayonara to Elliot's pseudo-girlfriend, neighbor, and bang buddy Shayla. To begin his diabolical plan, Elliot hacks into a nearby police car and thus directly into the vehicle's computer and the jail's network, and seemingly all he had to do was be near it. What I took from this scene is that anybody that you're even remotely physically close to on the street has the power to hack you. Granted, they would have to have some sort of hacking skills, but in this day and age, anybody under the age of 19 seems to have some sort of hacking abilities. Number 7, when Fsociety hacks a smart TV from Season 1, Episode 8. Shit is literally hitting the fan. While everyone's career and personal lives are going up in flames, Allsafe's system gets majorly hacked. During this attack, Fsociety airs a video through the Allsafe conference room television. As Gideon, the intelligent and well-dressed boss, demands that someone turn the TV off, a young tech-savvy gentleman realizes that the TV is ignoring the remote, and in fact, Fsociety has hacked their smart TV. Wait a minute, people can hack smart TVs? Like, while I'm watching it? If you want to see true rage, try messing with my TV while I'm trying to binge watch the latest season of Daredevil. Bring it on, hackers. Number 6, when a harmless music CD is actually just a full-on hack from Season 1, Episode 2. One of the most frightening and shocking reveals during this series is that while Angela and her douchey boyfriend Ollie go walking through the city, a seemingly harmless musician hands off one of his CDs. But that's totally normal. Anyone who's ever been in a major city has had a mixtape thrust upon them at one street corner or another. What's not normal is that Ollie actually tries to listen to the CD. Once he put that CD into his computer, it unleashes a virus that could access everything, including their webcam. That's right, everything you've ever done in front of your computer is now in the hands of a nice young hacker. Number 5, when Fsociety sends a fake text message from Season 1, Episode 5. During Fsociety's attempts to infiltrate Steel Mountain, Elliot has to get through the tight protocol of the building security just to get a tour. He's directed to his stern supervisor, Trudy Davis. Poor Trudy Davis. At first, she's firm and unfailing as she escorts Elliot to the door, but then the Fsociety team uses universal human fears to manipulate Trudy away from the situation. How do they do that, you ask? Remember, the answer to any question in this video is always hacking. Fsociety hacks into Trudy's cell phone and sends her a text message from one of her contacts. Yep, they make it appear that her husband has texted her, "I'm at the hospital. It's what we always feared." How horrible. Number 4, when Twitter feeds send someone to jail from season 1, episode 2. So it turns out that the scary drug dealer slash murderer slash rapist that I mentioned earlier was actually convicted based on his Twitter and Facebook feeds. Apparently, he and his cohorts had this code for every time they were about to deal or kill, and those feeds were submitted as actual hard evidence. So that means that anytime I post a picture of my sweet, delicious nachos with the caption, "About to murder these," a court of law could use that against me in the case The State versus Nacho Murderer. But in that same regard, could social media posts also be used as alibis? If you're accused of robbing a bank in Little Falls, New York at 9:34 p.m. on a Saturday, but your Facebook says that you posted a status at 9:35 p.m. from Juneau, Alaska, then are you off scot-free? Number 3, when Elliot rigs all the prison cells to open at once, from season 1, episode 6. So maybe Elliot's masterful plan of hacking a police car didn't completely shock you, but if you thought the hacking stopped there, in the words of Kanye West,
honey.
Hacking into the police car was just the toasted bread of this shocking panini of a plan. The real meat and cheese is that the hack of the police car was necessary for the larger plan, scheduling every cell in a prison to open at the exact same time, thereby freeing every single detainee in the prison. That's frightening. While our criminal justice system may be a bit problematic at times, it certainly seems more problematic that some codes and hacks and some computer gobbledygook can free an entire prison full of criminals. And if that's possible, why isn't someone doing that to free America's sweetheart Stephen Avery right now? Number 2, the moment when Fsociety crashes the market, from season 1, episode 10. The glorious season 1 finale of Mr. Robot opens with the news of the European markets being down, credit cards being rendered useless, and everybody's debt essentially gone. Fsociety completes their mission and successfully Fs a lot of shit up. Sure, they have been working for a while on this major hack, but it's really scary that all of our financial systems are vulnerable enough to be taken down by 5 misfits in an abandoned arcade. Now, don't get me wrong, having all of my debts be erased would be so cool, but everyone kept talking about how they couldn't use their credit cards for the entire weekend. If I can't use a credit card, how am I supposed to buy my Chipotle burrito bowl or my adult coloring books? And finally, number 1, when Elliot realizes he doesn't exist on the internet, from season 1, episode 8. In one of the most thrilling sequences in the show's 10-episode first season, Elliot has a crisis of self as memories flood back to him about the true identities of the people around him. In an effort to discover more about himself, he turns to what he knows, hacking, only to find out that his internet presence is scarce. In his own words, "I have no identity, I'm a ghost." Which brings about the most terrifying realization about our society's connection to technology. In this ever-advancing technological landscape, do we even exist if we don't exist on the internet? In the case of Elliot, whose memories are unreliable, does the internet take over where our memories fail? Even if we die, do we continue to live our lives online? Is the dress blue and black or white and gold? These are the questions that we will have to seriously grapple with as technology progresses faster than we do. I, for one, just hope there's nachos. Thanks for watching the top 10 terrifying hacks from Mr. Robot. If you like this video, be sure to check out some of our other ones here on Cinematica. We have the reasons that Netflix's Daredevil is better than Fox's Daredevil movie, or we also have the top 5 insane stunts from Mad Max Fury Road. So don't forget to subscribe to Cinematica, where we help you watch smarter.